सबका नमस्कार. We are coming into the closure of this year, a great year 2024. CEAH Academy is also flowing with the year, and we have now almost completed 20 episodes. It's a great legacy of CEAH Academy, giving all heroes of animal husbandry sectors, policy makers. So you have seen Madam Malka Upadhyay, our secretary, leading in the podcast 20 on livestock census. So we thought that to how to make a year wrap up and a great legacy has to be brought in. We was discovering what should be the topic and who should be the hero for this present episode of 21. So we wanted to go for an youngest with a great mindset of legacy in the poultry sector. We call it as founder pillars of poultry. I would say that they are all like fathers of poultry sector. So in this sense, I have zeroed into a gentleman whom all poultry sector knows, that he was one among the group member of Dr. B.V. Rao, and he is such a known gentleman in Bengaluru and South India. If you ask P.S. Nandakumar, everybody knows that sir is a legacy, youngest in 82-year age, and very great gentleman who has contributed for this legacy. So on behalf of CEAH Academy, I want to welcome P.S. Nandakumar sir, who is at 82, going great guns, and he will narrate today on how this poultry legacy has come, poultry sector. Because you know that today poultry, we talk it as $25 billion sector, equivalent to TCS. We say that TCS employs only 6 lakh people, we employ 6 million people. So that legacy, how has unraveled, and that capital of that legacy is Hesaraghatta. You all know that Hesaraghatta released HH260 in the year 1970s. So to unravel such great issues of poultry in India, I want to go in deep and well with the conversation with P.S. Nandakumar sir. Sir, on behalf of CEAH Academy, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mahesh. It's a pride for me also to recognize, you are all recognizing the growth of the industry, and I'm very proud of that. And it's a great opportunity for me to express how the industry has grown from zero level. I would say it is a zero level because when we started up, it was not a commercial operation. It was a backyard farm like thing. So from there, today we have come to a stage where we are the 5th largest meat producers and the 2nd largest egg producers in the world. A great pride for a farmer also, because everything what we do is for the benefit of the farmers, and the farmers have grown in these technological changes which is taking place in IT, BT sectors, and the animal husbandry is one of the largest contributors
for the economy.
In the economy, in the agricultural sector. The animal husbandry and agriculture has always been together. If you take that into consideration, in the animal husbandry, agriculture sector, animal husbandry is more than the agricultural sector, the growth rate.
Very nice of you, sir. Let me start by step.
Sure.
And as you briefed you informally that we are a community where we don't even enter into any business of meat. And now I want to ask you your personal background. What is your youth? Because you saw independence happening in the country 1942. You're born
43.
43, yeah. So you can narrate your personal background, sir.
You are taking me back 55, 60 years old, that story. Fortunately, I have been able to remember every inch of my life, how we passed through.
Oh, very nice.
1960, how I got into the business. Yes, sir. That's a very interesting question, that whoever who meets me, first of all, they ask you one question. Hey, you are a Vaishya community. How did you get into this chicken business? That is a great question all the time I face. And I am facing the same question with you also today. Well, our grandparents' business used to be a flour mills, and I graduated from Bengaluru in the year 1963 with a Bachelor of Science degree, BSc. And I was, during my education, I was working with my grandfather's flour mill. And we used to manufacture maida, soji, atta. And this is a process we were getting, the government of India used to get the wheat from US under PL 480 system. Whenever the wheat comes, it is always contaminated with 1 or 2, 0.5% to 1% in the ships, because that is all bulk loading ships. So when it comes to India, the government of India allots the wheat to us, and we do the further processing. It was a licensed commodity, and it was a licensed business. It was a very interesting thought when we were doing this flour milling processing, wheat processing. We used to get wheat brokens and wheat bran, dust-like thing, and another one is corn. Corn means maize.
Maize.
Because it is being shipped from US under the bulk loading, the ships which carried the corn to other countries also get mixed up there.
Okay.
So when it comes to the flour mill, we used to clean it and do it. And we used to get a small percentage of corn and wheat brokens. And we never knew how we should use this, because our traditional business used to be flour milling. And nobody has given a thought how to use this. And I was the only youngest person in my grandfather's family. So I had to think how to add a value for that, which was being thrown out literally. And I remember maida, soji, that itself is about 48 rupees per 90 kg in those days. Oh. So what would be the value of the corn, which comes as a byproduct? So that was the pre-concept. That was the concept on which I got into the poultry. And in the 1963, I was one of the student exchange program organized by UNESCO. So I was staying in USA for about 3 months. It's a living experiment in international living. In one 1 month stay was in Iowa State. Iowa, as you know, it is a maize grain.
Maize grain bowl of yours.
Bowl of maize grain.
Yeah.
So when I was there in the college, Morningside College, Sioux City, I incidentally came across the grain science department, and I came to know there the maize and wheat bran and everything is being used as a byproduct, as a product for manufacturing the poultry and cattle feed. That was the first beginning of mine. So unfortunately I came back and I took up that. And how do I do it? I didn't know. Poultry I have never seen. I have not even touched a chicken. So fortunately I started investigating how to get trained in the poultry. And one Dr. Veerappa Gowda was the assistant director in animal husbandry department. He advised me, if you want to learn poultry, you go to Hesargatta. And Hesargatta is a bowl of poultry.
It's a blessed
It's
land.
a knowledge of animal husbandry center. So I came here. I underwent a training in about 3 months and learned how to do that. And it was a very tough job for me because I am from a vegetarian family. Working with the chicken, and my teacher used to be Dr. Muttanda.
Okay.
He was a very strict officer and a trainer, and he used to make me to lift the shit also. Vaccination, everything was taught to me. So then after that I started my poultry. The concept was to make use of the byproducts of the flour. From there I started the poultry. And of course there was a lot of trouble in the family because that was not accepted by my
By
family.
your group, okay.
So with all that thing, I had an intuition that I should do something. Going ahead behind my grandfather's business or anything it's a normal procedure.
Yes, it is.
I want to do something different and do an value-added products for the byproducts available in the market, in the flour mills.
Fantastic, sir. For the audience to benefit, today you have reached almost like 1,000 crore. 1,000 crore with the next generation like Naren and Nandu, Naveen. And then the next generation also entering into the field. And you have established a branded product also, and Nandu's chicken in the market. And now I think, your legacy must have accepted it. Now it is a part of the family as a thing.
Now I tell you one thing. My grandfather's business is totally closed.
Closed.
Flour mill closed.
Now the chicken business is the primary
Now
business.
his main business is part of my partner work.
Oh.
We became a partner and they also have got the same business. Whatever I have established,
The same thing. Okay,
they think families grows, children's grow, and divisions do happen.
Yeah.
So I had to give certain portion of what I had developed to my uncle and then walked out.
Very nice, sir. So let me move on, sir. Now, as we know, it is a trio. 3 people involved in the development of the sector. The great gentleman is father of poultry, is B.V. Rao, and you have shared shoulder and to shoulder and a walks of life in going into Hyderabad and doing such a great work. So can you narrate that journey of your Jagapati Rao sir and then B.V. Rao sir and you of taking back to the memories of 1970s?
Yes. When I started a poultry in the year 1965, I started a small unit of about 1,000 birds farming.
Okay.
I used to sleep in the farm, I used to work with the chickens, and it was growing well. Because I had a training in Ethragata, so I had to carry that train, and I did that. Because my flour mill had this byproduct,
Inputs.
Of course I used to buy for the poultry, accounting possibilities.
Okay.
So I started manufacturing hand mixing of the feed by using these products. And that was one of the training program in Ethragata where how to make the feed, what are the nutrition values of the feed, what the chicken has to, how much quantity of feed it has to go. So I started with the hand mixing, working for about 1,000 birds farm. And fortunately, I used my technique of marketing, and because wheat flour and wheat maida, soji and all that was a controlled commodities. So we were very religiously following the rules and regulations of the Government of India, and we used to supply for every hotel 1 bag a day.
1 bag a day. Okay.
1 bag a day.
That was a restriction.
And it was not restriction, but has to be price control, plan distribution. Both are restricted.
Oh, great.
So one fine morning, I had never realized 5 months is over. The eggs have started coming in the farm. I never realized where to sell that.
Where to sell them? Okay.
So one fine morning, every day morning, because it was a common product, people used to stand in the queue before I opened my flour mill. So I asked one of the people, hey, every day you come and take 1 bag of maida. What do you do with that? And he said, ours is a Breeze restaurant in Brigade Road, and there were some other hotels in the city market. They used to come and we used to give them 1 bag of maida. So I told him, and if you need an eggs then? Yes, we need, sir. We buy about 50 to 100 eggs every day.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So they do that is used for the non-vegetarian preparations. Then I said, okay, I will give you 1 bag as committed, and I will give another 1 bag extra. For every bag of maida you take from me, you should buy 250 eggs or 200 eggs from me.
Brilliant. Okay.
And those days it is all eggs. There are small egg shops in the meat markets. Not like today where eggs are available in every department store, no. So they have to go to meat markets, buy the eggs, ship it back to their hotel. So I told them, all right. And that was the time, it was about 18 to 20 rupees per 100 eggs.
100 eggs, 18 to 20
18 paisa to
then
20
paisa,
paisa.
20 paisa. Okay.
So I used to tell them, I will give you one bag of maida extra, which is being black marketed at 85 rupees.
Oh.
All that you have to do is, I will deliver the eggs to your hotel and you have to pay me 25 paisa per egg.
Okay.
They were very happy because by paying 7 rupees extra than the market price at that time, they get one bag of maida free, in the sense, at a controlled price.
Control price, okay.
So it was a win-win situation for both of us. So that's how I marketed.
The initial
And my feed cost used to be about 420 rupees a ton.
Oh.
Because my own products,
4 rupee 20 paisa
4 rupees 20 paisa.
per kilo. How B.V. Rao came into picture, sir? Now,
Yeah, I'll come to it. So therefore, once it has, I made a good profit during 1 year. Whatever the investments I had made for establishing 1000 birds farm, I realized the entire capital expenditure within 1 year.
Oh, great. Oh.
And that was the time the poultry and animal husbandry income is exempted from the income tax. That's another impetus for us. So the very next year, I not doubled. From 1,000, I went to straight 8,000 birds farm.
Fantastic. Oh.
So when I went into that, I need to have a mechanical mixers, grinders, and everything I had to buy. And I took a loan from Canara Bank, 65,000 rupees, started all that. I was one of the first few farmers in Bengaluru in those days. I don't know, were there any more? Mr. B.V. Rao, you asked me the question. We all call him as a father of poultry industry. He used to come to me because he used to represent Arbor Acres India Limited in Pune. He was an all India sales manager for that company. He used to come to me to sell his chicks. Because I was a new entrant in the industry and he is a very knowledgeable man. And I used to spend a lot of time with him when he was in Bangalore to understand more and more about the management and diseases, how to prevent the diseases. So that's how I became a very good friend to him, and he became a good friend to me too. Both had the nice. That's how I became first friend to Mr. Rao in 1965-67.
What are the other hurdles you faced, sir, in the beginning? What are the hurdles you faced in the beginning? How was your challenges were handled?
Well, those days eggs have always been produced in backyard farms. And white egg layers, ours is a hybridization. All the technical issues of breeding programs is for developing a hybrid, which gives you more productivity than the country bird. One of the biggest problem when we came out with the white eggs in the market, it was very few. White eggs were very, very few.
Very few.
It
Now
was
it
only
is reverse.
it was only a brown eggs, and brown eggs are all produced from the native breeds.
Okay.
Or pure breeds.
Pure breeds.
Rhode Island Leads or Monarcha, and such thing, Black Monarcha and all that. So it was a tough time for us to compete with them because the consumer is used to the brown eggs. Marketing a white eggs was a tough time. But anyway, as anything at the background, at the backyard, it cannot feed the entire country's requirement. That was the biggest challenge we have. As the white eggs production has increased, the consumer has understood the nutritive value of an egg, white egg and a brown egg is no difference. Then people started buying. And a brown egg was much expensive than a white egg. White egg was sold in the retail market about 35 paisa, 20 was the market price. And consumer reach, by the time it reaches, it may go up to 30 paisa. Whereas brown egg used to be at about 45, 50 paisa. The consumer is always cost conscious man. So that's how we have grown developing the white egg markets in the. That was one of the biggest hurdles that we had. You will be surprised. The eggs from Kerala was being sent to Delhi in the baskets.
Oh, is it, sir?
So that is the mode of transportation.
Can you narrate your experience of Vivirao sir slogan, "My egg, my price," and how this issue came? My egg, my price, my life, and NECC. That's the Hyderabad episode. Can you narrate your experience, sir?
Yes, sir. We had a franchise meeting in Venkateshwara hatcheries every year. All the franchisees, they will be called, and in one of the franchise meeting and one of these places, we always felt we are the producers. We don't have the right to sell our product at the price at what we need to tell. See, in every industry, if you take it, cost plus profit is the system. Nobody sells cost minus profit. Loss. Why we are doing it? We don't have price declaration system, and we have to depend purely on trader. He is the person who fixes the price for my product. It is something like I and you fix the price of Maruti car. It is not the Maruti
manufacturer.
It is the. So that was the state of affair in the poultry. And we were thinking on that, and how do we get into that? Every farmer in every sector, in the agriculture sector, farmer is not big enough to advertise, big enough to build a brand, rich enough to spend for the advertisement. It is some other division has to be doing it. Similarly, we did not have any division. No farmer can afford to advertise that my egg is so and so value and so this. Nobody. Those are the days when the price, the eggs were sold at 1 rupee, 150, and plus smaller farms are larger in number, and large farms are very few. So what do we do? That was the subject matter. Then we all sat together, myself, V.N. Dubey, and Mr. B.V. Rao, under the chairmanship of B.V. Rao, Jagpati Rao, and myself. We all sat together. I said, hey, we should take a revolution has to be done. We should campaign all over India. By that time, Venkateshwara has become a very large poultry operators. In the sense, large number of farms have been produced and franchises were there. And it was very fast growing. When it is so, we should come to know that our price, our egg, our price and our life. That's the slogan.
A great slogan, sir, for the legacy today. For the entire community is, grateful to you. NECC is today whatever the biggest farmers organization because of that slogan. My egg, my price, my life. Please continue.
My life.
Please continue, sir.
So when we were doing it, how do we take this to a national campaign? How do we take this time, my life, my egg, my price, my life. Whatever. So how do we take that into national campaign? So we need money for that. So nothing comes free. And especially advertising is an agency where cost is enormously high in those days, even today, even then also. So therefore, what we did is, I suggested to Mr. B.V. Rao, hey Rao, think in one way. I had this opportunity in our flour milling industry to think, therefore I am passing on that to you. You charge 1 rupee per chick. Farmers are willing to pay. After all, in the cost of an egg, a chick price is insignificant. So therefore, let us say, collect 1 rupee per chick and create a fund,
Corpus.
And to maintain that corpus, started National Egg Coordination Committee. So I was one of the founders of that NECC, but I did not pursue one because that became a farmers' organization.
Campaign.
We were only a promoter, and it's a campaign for the farmers' benefit.
You came out with such a campaign, sir. Sunday or Monday.
Sunday or Monday, Rose Kavo Monday.
That is, every citizen of India knows it.
So with that, we started collecting 1 rupee per chick from the farmer.
Great.
And you know why? Every poultry farmer used to call Nandakumar, you are an opposition leader, I say. You have brought this philosophy. If you would have not told to Mr. Rao, we would not have paid 1 rupee extra. Anyway, I used to tell them, after all, we all have to contribute for that, for the growth of the industry. So that NECC started collecting 1 rupee per chick, and we established an offices. There are producing centers, there are consuming centers.
Today it's a great business case study, sir. Majority of the agri corporations, they don't know how NECC functions. NECC functions in such a way that, as you rightly said, every day egg pricing is fixed based on the demand and supply, and these are only probably farmers organization fixing the price. Where is fixing the price?
Right. So what we used to do, what is the consumer center's price? What is the producing center's price?
Okay.
So the communication has to reach so that the eggs can move.
How those days used to communicate, sir? No mobiles?
By only
by
telexes and phones.
Very great.
So we established small offices, regional offices of NECC, and Bengaluru is one of the regional officers, and all these people are headed by the farmers.
Okay.
We have not been there. Only Jagpati Rao is the finance man, because we all collect and give it to him.
Okay.
We wanted a very strong man to spend that money.
Okay.
In that. So that's how this NECC 1 rupee has collected, and the communications have developed, and which has got the slogan, my egg, my life, my price, my life.
Great thing, sir.
That is the authority which gave us to declare the price
of the product.
Today NECC price is being declared in India.
Fantastic, sir.
Instead of a trader, it is the farmer himself. NECC is nothing but a farmers organization.
Probably lakhs and lakhs of farmers are
members
of that. So let me move on, sir, because by such great contributions, today industry is very strongly placed, and now we are exporting eggs, we are exporting chicken, we are almost second to none. We are the best in the world, whether it's breeders, broilers, layers. Many of the audience should know that the kind of performances what India is giving today is unmatched to anyone now. We are better than USA, sometimes better than Brazil. We are doing it. Such great things.
I'll tell you here, the breeds which have been developed by Venkateshwara has already been supplied to the other part of the world.
Great news. Okay.
This they have already done it, because the Americans wanted, because Cobb is a American breed. So they wanted how you are able to develop such a good quality here. So of course, prior to getting that, there was government policies and other things. That's a different question.
It's okay, sir.
But our genetic potentials have become
our
so
people
strong.
are performers. We proved that you give a good material, we'll make it the best material.
Yeah.
That's what I would say that. Sir, now I want to record for the audience because you are such a kind of legacy people, we will suddenly sometimes forget. What are the contributions you did then till today industry is remembering, especially for taxation issues, especially for corporate issues? Can you narrate some of those experience of yours? Yes.
You see, once we became a unity, an association of farmers, an association, and a godfather is B.V. Rao. So when somebody directs, there are followers. A leader, every follower cannot be a leader.
Yeah.
There will be only one leader and there will be millions of followers. So the concepts have developed like that. And taxation, coming to the taxation issue. Poultry was exempted from 100% from the income tax. It is Pranab Mukherjee time when somebody has informed him, I don't know how it has happened, all the black money is being siphoned into the poultry industry, and when the poultry industry is invested and the revenue coming out of that becomes white money. So this is a conversion methodology and
some rumor
concept. But that is not true. Actually, people keep on the side of the fence, they keep on talking anything and they want. And the government is always a pro-revenue people. Government is always a pro-revenue. So that's how it happened. And we took, because we had an associations, we had followers, we had an NECC, and therefore we were able to impress upon the government. I, myself, Rao, Jagapati, Dubey, we sat in Delhi for more than a month.
Great, sir.
Giving educating the parliamentarians.
Okay.
We educated the parliamentarians. Why, if it is an agriculture, why there is an exemption for agriculture? Why not for animal husbandry? Even in the animal husbandry, dairy farm was exempted. Why poultry alone? So we had to give a lot of efforts have been put in. We sat and we prepared memorandums and we submitted to CBDT, Central Board of Taxes.
Direct taxes.
Direct taxes. And we have went and met parliamentarians.
Fantastic. Okay, sir.
Every day there used to be a bus load of farmers for whom we have requested them to come and help us. And we moved that, and finally, at least he was considerate to reduce 1/3, 2/3 of the property is taxed, 1/3 of the profits is exempted.
Okay.
That's how it has gone into. Now today we have lost even that benefit.
Yeah, it is taxing.
Right, 1 rupee earning, you pay the tax. And we are the most highly tax paid people. I'll tell you why.
Sir.
An industry has got subsidies, industry has got exemptions, backward area exemptions, forward area exemptions. You ask anything you want, everything industry has got. But poultry is not. Nothing is for the poultry.
Neither industry nor agriculture. That is
we are neither industry. We are in Trishangu Swargatara.
Yeah.
That's the word we always.
Yeah.
So that's how.
Any other contributions you want to remember, sir, during 70s, 80s, what you people did and that becomes a base today?
Yes, I would like to take
please.
a minute on that. With these collections of 1 rupee, we started getting fairly good amount of money. And the industry was growing in faster rate than the manpower was not available for us. There were no sexers in the hatcheries, there were no farm managers, they don't know technical people. Veterinary graduates, they always would prefer to go to a government jobs. At that time, securities was the biggest problem, private companies.
Yeah.
Very few people were used to come. So, to develop the manpower, what do? Let us start one training institute.
Okay.
IPMI.
IPMI.
So with this, we have taken some bank loan bank has been very kind to give some loan to IPMI, and our group contributed whatever the best we could contribute for the establishing of a poultry training institute, and we wanted the on-hands training program. So that's how
legacy.
So that's how we were able to produce sexers, we were able to train farm managers, we were able to see the farmer. As the industry has grown, the technologically that has also grown. We need to educate the farmer how to run the farm. So we requested the farmers to depute their students, children or somebody, whoever he feels it, to come and get trained. It's a certified training course. So for that, it was a wonderful, and we were able to produce, and whatever who are trained there, we industry consumed them, or the industry people sent their trained people, got him trained, and then we brought him back to our sector.
Great, sir. So any other issues before we move on to your present new generation, sir? Any other old memories you want to make us remember the present context?
Anyway, industry has grown very well. We need to have certain amount of disciplines. And this is an industry where supply and demand doesn't match at all. Because in Indian calendar, if you look at it, we have almost 12 months, some function or some religious functions. It's a very tough time to match the supply and demand system. And the chicken doesn't stop at the religious functions and they continue to lay. We cannot stop them.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, a very efficient planning is very, very essential. Otherwise, the farmers will lose hell of a lot of money in this process. Today the situation is that in broiler sector, the highest production has gone in, and today the farmers are selling less than the cost of production. I would say, I would give you some example. Today the market the market price is 65 to 70 rupees live bird per kg.
Production is 100 rupees.
Production is about 85 to 90 rupees. It strips out the losses which happens in 1 month or 2 months, that will take away 2 years' profits.
Very true.
Large number of progressing.
People are struggling now. Sir, coming into your next generation, sir, now how do you foresee Naveen and Narendra taking these challenges?
Dr. Mahesh, I'll tell you, I am a very blessed father.
Sir.
The reason is, both the children were well educated.
Very nice, sir.
And I am a blessed father because both my children have come back and joined my business.
What was their basic education, sir? What did Naveen did?
My Naveen, my elder son, did his commerce in Bangalore, went to US. He did his MBA from Rutgers University, and he worked for about 2 years as a sales development person. He was very successful there, and he had a job also, because I was always calling him to come back because we have some business, I need your help. So one fine morning he calls me and tells me, Dad, I wanted to come back. I think that was the happiest moment any father would have had. So he came back and he joined my business, and he looks after entire livestock operations.
How about Naren, sir?
Naren is an engineer.
Okay.
He did his BMS college, he did his BA and went to US, did his masters. Then he was working for almost 10 years.
Oh, great. Okay.
Its total life he has spent is about 10 to 12 years in US. Coming back from US after having 2 children born there, I had no hopes that he will come.
He will come back.
But one fine morning he calls me and tells me, Dad, can I come back to home? I said, what is this nonsense question? It's a very ridiculous question.
Okay.
Anybody asks, if a son asks a father, can I come back home? That's
Very great.
And then he came back and he has taken up the responsibility. And because he has lived for 10 to 12 years, his conscience always tells that I should produce a chicken and reach the consumer with healthy, good quality chicken to the consumers.
D2C.
Because B2C.
Directly to the consumer.
Direct to the consumer. One. Secondly, because he lived for that many years, he knows what kind of a chicken available in and what restrictions are there on the quality maintenance.
Great.
So therefore, he wanted to bring in that concept, and we did that.
Very good.
And fortunately, I'll tell you one thing. I was one of the first guys,
Sure.
along with Mr. Rao, I imported a complete processing line,
Oh, very beautiful.
1989.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the time I registered, Venkis have been registered by Rao, and I have registered the brand name as Nandus,
Nandus.
in 1989.
See, sir, that vision you had that time.
Yeah. Because we wanted to add, see, producing a chicken, producing an egg is not just that. There is something more to be added for the better.
Great, sir. What I want to message for the audience is 3 generations we saw, from yourself to Naren to next generation. And people go abroad thinking that, we settle in US, and your children have proved that they come here and backing up the startup kind of a thing like Nandus and Nanda Group and entire thing, reaching 1,000 crores. It's a great message for the audience. Now, at a concludingly, sir, I want you to give 5 recommendations what people should not do. Let us see first. We'll say that because we in a hurry.
What to do, what not to do.
Now you should see what not to do. We'll come to the end like what to do, but let us conclude later. But you can give us what people should not do in poultry, in the business.
Well, sir, in the poultry which I have gone through for last 50 years, 50, 60 years, what we have to certainly do is we have to plan our productions properly. One is, and it is also very tough because our habits of consumption of meat and eggs changes from month to month because of some religious functions which are coming in. Ashada and Shravan, and then Ganapati festivals, like that, Diwali. These are all the things which are there. But we should plan in such a manner, the first production, we should understand to know what is required for the market and there should be a balance between the production and consumption. That is one of the major things. But so far we are trying our best because of this private associations have already come up. We have started declaring the prices. We are intimating the farmers where to sell their product, which is the centers. And we have got the right to declare the prices today. The farmer has got a right to declare the price.
Okay.
Earlier, it was in the hands of the trader. Whatever he says we have to accept it because we did not know how to market it. Today, we have come to a situation where the farmer can depend on these associations and NECC so that he can develop. That is one. Second point is planning of, because our consumption and production cannot stop. Once the chicken starts laying, it lays for 365 days. Whole year it will be a layer. In this whole year, there will be so many religious functions and marriage functions, everything will be coming. Therefore, what we need to do is, sometimes we may produce more than what is market requirements. At that time, we sell the chicken and the eggs below the cost of production. So therefore, a certain financial discipline is very, very essential, especially in such products where supply and demand keeps changing month on month or maybe once in a quarter. But therefore, financial discipline is very, very essential to protect when there are bad times.
That is very important.
That is very important, Doctor. So probably the sector has become more and more matured, I would say.
Yeah.
The
Now,
poultry farmers are more and more matured. Contract growing farms are developing.
right, sir.
So we are in the process of applying all these methodologies. And you see, there is no point in selling a product which is below the cost of production.
Not required.
That is not
So
required.
financial discipline, organize your planning, and demand and supply matching is what you want to suggest. In spite of, if you don't do this, you will suffer.
You will
Sir,
suffer.
I just want to have a final talk on how is your association with CLAMA, because that's the biggest association like Composite Livestock Feed Manufacturers
Association. Well, sir, CLAMA is an all India body. CLAMA has become condensed to CLAMA. Earlier it used to be Compound Livestock Feed Manufacturers Association of India. And in the animal industry, feed industry, the largest players are all large companies like Hindustan Liver, Tatas, like that, bigger companies were there. So they wanted to become an organization like our poultry farms.
Poultry farms.
They also want to become an organization, and this was started. And all whatever the industry problems are represented to the government, and CLAMA has become one of the advisor to the government, or CLAMA becomes a supporter to the policies. Like that, we have the advisor. So I was a feed manufacturer and started with poultry, became a feed manufacturer, and today we have 3 feed companies, 3 units, one in Maharashtra, one in Karnataka, and one in Tamil Nadu. Like any other industry needs an association to represent their problems, animal feed industry also needed an association.
What was your specific role, sir? You were
I was a chairman of the CLAMA for 2 years, way back, long ago.
Yeah.
And to become a chairman, first I should become a deputy chairman for 2 years.
Okay.
And become a deputy chairman, I should be a secretary for 2 years. So that means secretary, deputy chairman, and a chairman. So my association with the CLAMA was almost 6 years in the status of office bearers. It's a very lovely organization, and we brought in lot of changes in CLAMA also to represent the entire industry. We were only in the feed industry at that time.
Sir.
I was not very happy. Feed industry, one sector of animal husbandry. Who is there to represent the entire animal husbandry?
Yeah.
So therefore, I suggested amend the bylaws. We amended the bylaws. All the people connected to the industry
Are in the group now.
should be the members of that. And they have to get their voting rights.
Very good.
So that's how it was broad-based. The CLAMA has broad-based, and it represents dairy section, poultry section, aqua section,
All
feed
the
section, manufacturing, feed companies, equipment manufacturers. Every segment is there.
Fantastic.
So that's one large association representing the entire segment of animal husbandry.
So thank you, sir. Such a great feeling we are capturing, your 60, 70 years of experience is very tough in 40, 50 minutes. But I want to place on record, you are the people who have demonstrated for us, the younger generation, coming generations, that animal husbandry sector is the future sunrise sector in India. And our government of India is facilitating lot of schemes, animal husbandry infrastructure development fund.
True.
National livestock. In fact, you are one of the beneficiaries of our animal husbandry
infrastructure development fund.
You have taken
And the government of India, of course, I should thank the government here.
Yes, sir.
Because they have created an animal husbandry ministry.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See, because once it is been developed as a separate ministry,
Sir.
the ministry has done an excellent job protecting the poultry farmers.
Thank you so
thank
much,
you.
sir.
One more thing I wanted to
please,
add
please,
here
please,
is,
please, please. Yeah.
it's a growing industry,
Sir.
and we wanted to carry forward the new generation, younger generation should enter into this business and to come. Today everybody is talking about IT, BT and all that.
This is food industry.
This is a food industry. This is an industry can never be closed. Never be closed. Because as long as the human population is there, they need food.
Yeah.
Can we close the agriculture? No. Can we close down the dairy? No. So no human being can survive without a food.
These are all perpetual sectors. They continue.
And then the economy is growing.
Yeah.
And once the economy is growing, per capita income is increasing per person. Quality and the consumption goes up. You know, the world average of meat consumption is about 18 kgs per person per year. Whereas the Asian countries' consumption is about 11 kgs per person per year. Whereas India, of course, we are in the Asian, the Indian poultry meat sector is only 4.9 kgs. See, you can just imagine.
That is the future, sir.
That is the future. And as the future means, as the population keeps on increasing, nutrition, health becomes more and more important for everybody. The nutrition becomes more important. So therefore, this is a growing sector, and now from the commodity based, chicken meat is not anymore a commodity, eggs is not anymore a commodity. So we have to bring in a value added products and branded products. So the industry has matured now to make the commodity into a branded product.
I can see in your emotions, sir, you have tears and you have smile on your face that the industry which you carefully made it to grow almost like 60-70 years, whether it is B.V. Rao sir, 67 years. So I feel we guarantee that on behalf of the younger generation that the security will be, industry will be very secure.
It's a proud.
Yeah.
One more factor is here. The land is the most important component for the poultry. Without a land, you can't produce poultry sheds.
That itself is your fixed deposit.
Fixed deposit. So therefore,
sir,
land is an important factor. And the more the land available. And farmers who have already in the agriculture sector, they are talking about the fertilizers without chemical fertilizers. The poultry manure is one of the best organic manure. When it is an organic manure, I remember when I started way back in 78, in Maharashtra, we used to go to the sugar factory. Sugar factories, the farmers used to grow ganna in Maharashtra.
Sugarcane.
They used to sugar cane and then bring it to the factory. And the amount of, we have made them to start poultry farms so that the litter can be used as a organic manure for
Baramati is a great example.
Baramati, in Sangli, Miraj,
yes, sir.
Everywhere. So this is one of the other. Another more important thing is the farmers should stay in their village and then try to farming. Today, if there is because of they don't have a profession, they migrate to urban cities. A farmer has got 1 or 2 crops in a year, but poultry can keep him engaged 365 days. It's a well-planned situation, and I think the government should consider that as we are the huge employment creators.
Employment plus livelihood, sir. Livelihood opportunity.
So no farmer, no population, no villager can migrate to the city and urbanization problems. So therefore, poultry should be considered by the government Mr. Mahesh, I am so proud of you
Thank you so
because
much, sir.
you have taken so much of initiative in this sector. You have addressed several meetings in this sector, and I have heard you talking about. So, people like you should motivate the younger generation and also suggest the government what could be done for the agriculture sector.
Sure. So I think, and concludingly, I thank emotionally Nandakumar sir at this age of 82 with bubbling energy and giving concepts and memories which are like milestones in our sector. So that is why our CEAH Academy gets lot of varieties of people to address in this school, I would say, so that people can remember the past and be at the present and think for the future, so that the next generation is very very guaranteed. So सबको नमस्कार, thank you so much. अगले एपिसोड में मिलेंगे. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.